Hi folks, welcome back to Thomas Turner Fishing Antiques Catalogues. That's the subject of today's little event. I've got a collection here of mainly Farlow's catalogues, which are probably the best thing that you can buy if you want a bit of bedside reading, if you're on your own. These catalogues range from the 1920s through to the 1970s, and they're a great source of information about the products, generally the length of product that has been made, why it was made sometimes, and who actually designed it. Because often what would happen would be somebody with a good idea would go to the manufacturer, let's say Mr. Zealand, and he would have invented a new reel or a reason for making a new reel, and if Farlow's or Alcock's or Hardy's took it on as a good idea, they would launch the New Zealand reel and it'd be a New Zealand reel. So it's that sort of thing. So you generally find these around at not a lot of money. There are some catalogues which are extremely rare, especially if you go pre-1900. Most of them, the values change significantly. Most of the catalogues from the 40s, 50s and 60s, which we consider to be fairly late or not old, but actually 60, 70 years old already. And some of that tackle is already very collectible. It's quite interesting to do the research in the catalogues and to find out more about the reels that you're collecting. So there is that. And there is also, if you read the catalogues, you may spot something within them that had you not read the catalogue, you wouldn't recognise. Point in fact. Catalogue here. Angler's Specialities from Redditch. Not a well-known make. Clearly some of the work inside it has come from Alcock's here, maybe some from Albert Smith, maybe some from Heaton's of Birmingham. But they have put together a catalogue here in the 1920s, as far as we can date it, and it's a fairly comprehensive small pocketbook catalogue, and I thought that's interesting. In it there is a lure called the glint, G-L-I-N-T. Here is the glint. Strangely, the catalogue turned up in a different place from the lure. So having collected the lure some time ago and sitting looking at it and thinking it's stamped the glint, I've never heard of it, along comes this specialities catalogue, and on page 60 under artificial baits is the glint flat Devon spinner bait. If I wasn't using somebody else's teeth, I'd get that out first time. So that shows you the importance of doing a little bit of research, having a general read, spotting items which you might think have no great value really, and suddenly within this catalogue of angling specialities is the bait stamped to match the catalogue. So that's rather nice. That puts a whole different perspective on this. We can attach a date to the bait. Attach a date to the bait. And when it comes to selling it, again, we're actually selling this as a pair. So if you were to buy this lure, which is quite a rare thing, it's nickel silver, 2.5 inches long, with its original trace mount. You get the catalogue to go with it. So that's a little bit of research, it's a little bit of digging around, and suddenly it increases the value of two separate parts when they're brought together is more than one. So if you see catalogues, get them bought, get them read. If you have catalogues you've read and no longer need, then give us a ring, drop us an email, send us a few pictures of anything here. It's all desirable at some level. Everybody should read as much of it as you can get a hold of, because it's the best basis for increasing absolute true knowledge instead of hearsay, which we have a lot of in this business. So happy hunting. Give us a call to get some catalogues to trade or to sell. If you want to buy some, drop us an email, pick up the phone, whichever way you do it, and have a chat to me. Thanks. Cheers.